Howdy. It's been a while since I've been able to get back on here and work on a video. Been busy working. So, friends, I want to talk about another subject. It's the idea of climate change or global warming, emissions. Okay, these are my thoughts on this theory we're told. First, my observations are that when it's you're in your house and the stove's burning, you go by the ceiling and it is warm up there and it's cold on the floor, so we know heat rises. And then in the fall, when it frosts, oftentimes the valleys will freeze before the hilltops do. And you can see sometimes the line of frost where the cold has settled. So we know heat rises and cold drops. But we're told that emissions cause the earth to heat up. Now, on the subject of emissions, what we're told is not true, and that is, by history and observation, we can prove it's not that way. So in the summer of 1912, well, I got that wrong. We'll say in the summer of 1913. But in June 6, 1912, Navarupta Katama in Alaska erupted, a volcano. And it was so cold, most of the corn froze in 1913. Then in June 12, 1991, Mount Pinatubo in the Philippines erupted, and there was frost on June 21st on the longest day of the year. It was 2 degrees colder than 1915. Also in World War II, the summer of 1944-45, there was a cool spells over a lot of the Midwest. So, in coinciding with the coldest times in American history, we have volcanic eruptions, which is a lot of dust and dirt and smoke into the atmosphere, which the sun was obviously blocked by this smoke. So the question is then, we're told that smoke, emissions from vehicles, causes cooling. Well, I would disagree. I'd say smoke particles and dust particles cause it to rain. Carbon helps plants. If there's no chemicals involved, the plants grow greener with carbon. So we're told all this, and we're told that we need to quit using our gas motors and quit burning coal, etc., because we're heating the earth up or we're causing climate change. You know, one volcano puts out more than every person. If every person was burning a fire, we wouldn't equal what the volcanoes of history have put out. And I put another theory out, that if any of you watched my first video about the sun and the moon, I believe the sun is positive energy and the earth is negative. Well, these phone towers and the signal they're putting out, the EMFs, would increase the negative energy fields, causing the sun to heat up. We can go back into history. In 946, it was a large volcano which caused crop failures all over Europe. And I've always thought about this. Why is it that we're told something like emissions cause warming when what you see in actuality is it causes cooling. So if we want the earth to warm up, we would stop burning fires. But even if we did stop burning fires, there's no way we could control the volcanoes and the forest fires that started. When I was living in Belize, there was a hurricane that went through and knocked a lot of trees down. And a couple years after that hurricane, the forests burned from all the down trees and the branches that had been knocked off and dried. And they burned days. The smoke was so thick at sometimes in the mornings you could barely breathe. And that was a natural occurrence. It was a volcano or a hurricane had caused the trees to be taken down. And where the hurricane went through, in a lot of places, it looked like a bulldozer had flattened the jungle and broken all the trees off and smashed them. You know, and the thing is, people don't understand it. In the tropics, trees grow back, and they grow back fast. That's the thing we always battling in Central America was the shoots of trees coming back up, constantly growing. And if you didn't burn them every few years, you had a serious problem of keeping them down. I used to burn my pastures every few years to kill the trees back and also to help with keeping down the ticks. But what I was trying to say is, we're told that the trees produce oxygen, which they do, the leaves. But if you look at the actual amount of oxygen trees produce compared to the amount of oxygen that grass produces more per square acre than trees do. So, oh yeah, this is Johnny, my second boy. He joined me today. So, grass produces more oxygen than trees do. So the whole argument of if we cut the trees down, we won't have oxygen like we should have is not 100% accurate. And also, it's been proven by scientific experiments that the algae in the water in the north, in the Arctic waters, produces oxygen. So even the algae in the water is producing oxygen, which I would say is quite interesting to think about. So even in the absence of trees, we would still have oxygen from algae. And like I said, carbon dioxide, is the food plants use to produce photosynthesis. They use that to produce energy from the sun. So, my thoughts on this: global warming is a hoax. If it is heating, it's because of either the lack of volcanoes or smoke, or it could possibly be from the EMF radiation. Just think about it. Question everything you're told. Society tells us things that aren't true. They lie to us. And if we look at it with an open mind, we can say, wait a minute. This just does not add up. It doesn't add up. So, question the system. Stay by the old ways. You take care for now. I'll see you guys all later.